This is Aslam Khan here to teach you depreciation. This paper code 7707 and 7110, Cambridge O level, and also this can be used. This practical knowledge can be used for AS and A level also. Whoever is finding it very useful, please share it to your friends, and please do not forget to subscribe my channel to learn with me in future. All the videos which I'm going to upload, you will be notified then there when you hit the bell button. So let's start. What is depreciation? Depreciation is an accounting method of allocating the cost of a tangible or physical asset over its useful or life expectancy. So which means they are saying that when you use an asset for a long period of time, the value of the asset will go down. This value of the asset going down, the difference between the purchase value and the value it's in current value, we say as depreciation. Now, for example, if I take a vehicle value, I purchased it for 10,000 in 2016, right? But now in 2018, the value has gone. Maybe we say it as carrying amount 4,000. So the present value in your accounting terms, we say it as carrying amount, or we say it as net book value. So if I say carrying amount, or we say it as net book value, so either one of this value, if it is 4,000, now the difference between 10,000 and 4,000 is 6,000. So the value has decreased from 10,000 to 4,000. I mean, when you purchase the vehicle, the vehicle's value was 10,000, but it's now 4,000. The difference between the actual value, historic cost, and the present value is known as the depreciation. This is also known as a wear and tear value, a deteriorated value. So in exams, they might ask you in your paper in Cambridge, they might ask you the definition of depreciation. Whenever you have an adjustment, I have noticed that 2 marks they give for depreciation definition, and they also ask, for example, how a computer is getting depreciated. What are the ways? So you can say wear and tear value, or you can also say it as what computer deteriorated, or advancement in technology, it makes the computer outdated. So these are all reasons of depreciation. Now I'm going to teach you the 3 types of depreciation. Let's look into how depreciation works, how this 3 types of depreciation is going to help you in exams. So just focus on the board, guys. I'm going to erase it, this part. So 3 types of depreciation. I'm going to teach you one by one. I'm going to start with straight line method. Number 2, I'm going to teach you reducing balance method. And number 3, I'm going to teach you, what do you see? Revaluation. So we'll look one by one now for exams. I'm going to teach you straight line method. So to calculate straight line method, there are 2 methods actually. One you can directly go with. Now you can use either one of this method, but the examiner will give which method you need to use in your paper. So I'm going to teach you how the straight line method works. First of all, I'll teach you the formula. I'm going to apply with the sum. Okay, just look into the board. Now here, method 1, I'm going to teach you. If you have cost, and if you subtract your residual value, for residual value we have another name called scrap value. So you have, and divide by number of years. Now this is one formula. Now let me explain this formula. Cost means the actual cost you are purchasing the asset. Residual value means after using the asset for a prolonged period, at what value you can say that asset is known as residual value. So once you take the cost, you deduct the residual value. You can divide it by the number of years. Number of years is how many years you're going to use when you are purchasing an asset. Maybe if you are purchasing a computer, you might get a warranty of 5 years. So this 5 years warranty is the actual amount of time you can use the asset. Or if you take a vehicle, you know that according to the market, you can use it for 10 years or 20 years. So based on the market assessing time period, we will be considering how this number of years works. So I hope you got how this is working. So I'll explain you after taking a big sum. First of all, we'll learn the method. So this is number 1 method, so cost by residual value and number of years. And number 2, I'm going to teach you method 2. Method 2 we said as what? We can take cost and into percentage. So they might give a percentage actually on the sum. How do we like the cost is this much and the percentage is this much, and it is a straight line method, so you should be able to use. So before we moving on to reducing bias method, keeping reducing bias method and evaluation method to a side, I'm gonna do method 1 and method 2 of straight line method. So let me do it, guys. So I'll erase it for now for reducing bias method. So I'm going to teach you this straight line method a bit deeper. This number 1 method, as you all have seen the video, I don't want to again to show you what are two other methods, guys. So let me take as an example ABC PAC. ABC PAC for just the motor vehicle for $100,000 and it is depreciated. So I'm going to take two methods. Okay, method 1 depreciated, method 1. So I'm going to go with method 1 depreciated, method 1. So at 10% per annum. So this is percentage basis. Or second method you can take scrap value is 20,000. Number of 20,000 number of years to be used is 8 years or 8. So now actually I'm gonna use straight line method. Either method you go, you're gonna get the same value. That's how it should work. Now I'm gonna use two methods for you to explain you how this works. Let me see when it comes to method 1, cost minus residual value. They have taken method to cost into percentage. So I'm going to take the this percentage basis first one. So first one, actually how much is the value? They are given 100,000 as the cost. I'm going to take 100,000 and into percentage I'm going to calculate 10 over 100. So I'm going to deduct. I'm going to divide this by that 100. So I will get 10,000 a month. 10,000 a year. So this is annual depreciation which happens per year. So this is cost into percentage, the easiest way, and I'm going to teach you how it works when it comes to cost minus residual value divided by number of years. How do I take when it comes to cost? How much they have given? 100,000. So 100,000 minus what is my residual value? My residual value is 20,000. So I'm going to deduct 20,000 and I'm going to divide it by number of years 8. So 100,000 minus 20,000 is 80,000. 80,000 divided by 8 will give you 10,000. Now you see the same value I got, but in different ways I used it. So it doesn't matter what method you use, but examiner will specifically say cost into percentage. They might say there is a percentage like this, and you're going to use and how they might say in method 1 they are going to they will give in residual value cost and the number of useful items. So you need to go with method 1. I hope you understood the basic adjustments of straight line method. I'm going to teach you how to record it in balance sheet and income statement. So we'll do the straight line method completely, and then we'll record it under we'll record it under we'll record it for the reducing balance method also. Now let me consider now ABC PLC purchased a motor vehicle I'm changing a small part on 2017, and we have seen the depreciation. Now we'll see, calculate. I'm going to add another small adjustment here, additional information. I'm going to write calculate the depreciation for 2020. So I purchased at 2017, but now they're asking to calculate for 2020. Let me take, I'm taking for 2017 January, and this year of ABC PLC is working from started ABC PLC from first 2017. So from 2017 it's the year beginning. So the year should end on 31st 12th 2007. This is how the year should particularly work. From the starting year to particular year. Normally your examiner will not give first 2017. Okay, I'll go with your examiner's mindset. He'll give first 4th 2017 to 31st 12th 2000, 31st 3 2008. This is how your examiner test. He always give on April month, and he will end it on a March month. This is how it works. Now I'm going to record this calculate depreciation for 2020. Record under balance sheet and income statement. So I'm going to record it in the under balance sheet and income statement. How do I record this? So please look into this very carefully. It's a very important area. So I'm going to erase this off. You know how much is the depreciation we have calculated. We'll go either method. Now you know either in residual value method, method 2, which is cost into percentage method. We got how much depreciation 10,000. So I'll erase this. I'm going to record it on the income statement and balance sheet. First of all, how do I record this? Now we found it is 10,000 actually. So 10,000, how do I record? Remember guys, when I use straight line method, for straight line method, the depreciation doesn't change every year. It's going to be the same. So if you take a depreciation of 10,000, every year you are going to pay the same 10,000. So you need to understand that. So depreciation, here I'm going to take depreciation 10,000. How do I take for income statement? I'll show it in income statement as well as in balance sheet. Then we will be doing it under provision for depreciation account and depreciation account, how it works. So let's move on to the depreciation now. You have income statement. So I'm going to take an extract for this income statement. Extract of income statement. They can give extract means actually they will ask a small area. You don't want normally an income statement works like sales minus cost of sales. You will get gross profit. Then you will add other income, then you will get expense. Now, I'm not going to do sales minus cost of sales. I'm going to keep all those things blank. So I'm not going to write sales. I'm not going to write cost of sales. These are not. I'm not going to write here. I'm just going to write the expense because depreciation is an expense. I'm going to show how this expense works for every particular year. I think one of the paper they asked this income statement and balance sheet. Until now I see that, but maybe this time it can be listed on your exam. So extract of income statement. How does it say? In 2017. Your depreciation was, you can see the year, your depreciation was 10,000. So you can show the exact. So I'm showing the extract of income statement until for your understanding 2020. Then for 2018 you had depreciation, the same thing, depreciation of motor vehicle MV. It won't change, as I said, motor vehicle is 10,000. Okay, so I have done for 2019 and 2020. The same applies. Depreciation of motor vehicle 10,000, 10,000, and depreciation for 2020 of motor vehicle 10,000 and 10,000. What you need to understand when it comes to this adjustment, if you see that the depreciation didn't change for all these particular years, the depreciation is going to be the same value. It never changed along with the number of years between. But when it comes to balance sheet, there's a slight difference. How do you record? I'm going to record the balance sheet extract. I'm going to take 3 columns. You all know how a balance sheet works. So you will have cost, or you will write here accumulated depreciation, and you will have net book value (NBV), or you can say carrying amount, net book value or carrying amount. For accumulated depreciation, you can either say it as accumulated depreciation, or for accumulated depreciation there's another name. We say it as provision for depreciation. What do you say? Provision for depreciation. So for net book value there's another name. We say it as carrying amount. What do we say? Carrying amount. So these are terms you can use instead of. Of cost, you can directly take it as cost. So I'm going to take non-current assets. So I'll write the full term, non-current asset. Don't write short term guys in exams. Non-current asset. So I'm going to keep motor vehicle. I'm writing short term because I know this how it works. So don't write short term in exams. Very careful when you are writing these values. So motor vehicle, actually I bought it. Now I'm going to write year by year. 2017. I bought it. How much I bought the motor vehicle? For 100,000. Actually, my first year depreciation was 10,000. So I'm going to subtract my depreciation. So I'll get a net book value of 90,000. Now see here, this is the year of depreciation, but accumulated depreciation says that whenever you are going to accumulate, whenever you are going to take for the next year, the value should be accumulated. Accumulated means addition. So it will be added together. So in 2017, we had taken the value net book value as 90,000. 2018, if I will move on, motor vehicle, I will take 100,000. The same cost won't change, but here This year's, last year's depreciation is 10,000. This year's depreciation is 10,000. You see 10,000 plus 10,000. So altogether you will write 20,000. So 20,000 if you deduct, you will get 80,000. Then if I move on to 2019 motor vehicle, 100,000 minus, I will have 30,000. Why 30,000? Because I'm taking 3 years depreciation, 10,000, 10,000 and 10,000. And when it comes to 2020 motor vehicle, 100,000 minus 40,000, 60,000. So this is the carrying amount. So I hope you got a basic understanding how to record it in an income statement extract, as well as when it comes to extract of balance sheet. This is how you need to record. They might give the years, so they might not give all these years. Sometimes they might give only one particular year, but I'll teach you. These are the format I have seen in 7110 paper, and I also seen certain formats in 7707 also. With my experience, I'm teaching you. These are the methods maximum they can confuse you, so don't get confused. If they ask all these years, put in one statement itself. If they ask only particular year, 2020, only show that particular year. So that's all you need to know. And I'm going to teach you how to record this under provision for depreciation adjustment sum. So I'm going to put two accounts. One we say as provision for depreciation, or we say as accumulated depreciation. Guys, you can write any name you want. Accumulated depreciation. Okay. So then I have another value. I'm going to put it as depreciation. So I have provision for depreciation as well as depreciation. So a provision for depreciation and depreciation, how do I record? Normally the double entry for depreciation is depreciation account debit, provision for depreciation account credit. But here I'm gonna take the amounts for income statement very particularly. So now let me explain you how this works. Okay, so normally I will write here provision for depreciation. This is 2017, 2018, 2019 and 2020. Now have a look at this. I think this is not enough. I think I'll erase this short, guys, because I think this space is not enough for me to calculate. I'm going to erase my income statement as well as provision for balance sheet for you to have a clear vision on what I'm doing. So extract, I taught you of how to record guys, statement method. Accounting is easy if you take it as easy. Don't make it complicated. It's very easy, guys. It's all you need to practice. If you practice a lot, then of course you will score better. I'm going to take a big account, so I'll take it as depreciation, and I'm going to say the other account as provision for depreciation. So as I say, provision for depreciation has another name. We say it as accumulated depreciation. So provision for depreciation I have written here. So I'm going to write here depreciation for 2017. Depreciation is an expense, so I'm going to write here on the debit side. 2017 it was it was how much? 10,000. So I'm going to take this this 10,000 as provision for depreciation here. Provision for dip. I'll write here depreciation, and this 10,000 I'll record it on the credit side because this is accumulated depreciation. It's an accumulation. So when you are taking it in the when you are showing it in the provision for depreciation account, you will always show it in this way. So let's move on to this particular area. Now, if you have here how much you will write depreciation here. What is the year you will write? 2017. So you have written this. Now the same thing. Now I have finished my 2017. Now see here what I'm going to do. When it comes to depreciation account, I'm going to send this amount for income statement 10,000. So here it is going to be credit. Under depreciation account, for income statement is going to be a debit. Under income statement, you will learn two things. One is income, other one is expense. So if it is credit here in the depreciation account, under income statement it is going to be debit. So if it is debit under income statement, means it is going to be an expense. So it should be a deduction. That's how you find out it is a debit or credit entry. So these basic adjustments you need to know. When you are learning double entry, you should know these type of basic adjustments. So let's conclude this. Now I'm going to finish this. This is 10,000 here. I have recorded here. So this 10,000 I have finished here. Now here I have finished for 2017. I'm not going to carry forward for the next year. With this adjustment I'm going to finish 2017. But provision for depreciation is not like that. I will carry forward. So carry it down. I will write 10,000. This carry down you can take for balance sheet. So I'll record here 10,000 and here I will record here 10,000. So now this is 2017. I'm going to start with 2018. So I'll have brought forward of 10,000 here, which means the new beginning year it is going to be 10,000. So moving on to the point of depreciation, 2018 I have provision for depreciation, how much? 10,000. I mean again. Under depreciation account, you should write which account it goes. So, provision for depreciation account, you should write depreciation. For 2018 also, depreciation is how much? 10,000. So 10,000 is 20,000. If I'm going to finalize, again I will send this for income statement, 10,000 as I showed. So this is going to be finalized at this point. So here is going to be finished 10,000. Now here if I'm going to send for carried down as 20,000. So this is the amount which we are going to show it under balance sheet. You remember on the previous thing I showed you how this balance sheet works, and I explained you how income statement and balance sheet is recorded. So here I'm going to take 20,000 and here I'm going to take 20,000. Now you might see, okay, so it's taking on the credit side. So debit side, if it goes to balance sheet, it should be going on credit side. How can it be a deduction if it is a credit side on the balance sheet? As I said, your non-current asset is a debit account. When you are taking a credit value, like brought forward is on credit, right? So if you take a credit value to the balance sheet, it should deduct the value of a non-current asset. That's the reason we are deducting it under non-current asset. Cost minus accumulated depreciation, then only we are finding net book value. So with that understanding, I'm moving on to 2019. The same procedure is going to follow, but I'm going to teach you one by one, though it is taking a lot of time for me. Brought forward is going to be 20,000, and this year's depreciation, I will write depreciation as 10,000. So actually I got 30,000. Here I'm going to write carried down 30,000 in total. So I'm going to finalize. So balancing of a ledger account, guys, these are basic things you need to know. First of all, when you see balancing off, you see this side is higher and that side's value should be on the opposite side. The balancing, these balancing things you need to learn before you move into this area, because it's a complex area. So you need to practice before you need to come to this part. Like basic double entries you need to know when you are going to learn depreciation. So depreciation, as I said, 2019 we have provision for depreciation is done. The same thing, this is 2019. So I will write here provision for depreciation. Again 10,000, and I will write here income statement 10,000. Again I will send the same value. It's gonna continue for 2020 also, but I'll finalize because you need to know how it works, and I'm gonna finish it off one by one. 30,000 is a brought forward which I got from carrying down to this side. Again I'm gonna write depreciation for that year, particularly 2020 is 10,000. So altogether I will get a 40,000 balance here, and here I will show carried down 40,000. So I'm going to finalize this 40,000 here. So I hope you understood the basic provision for depreciation, and depreciation for 2020 is also going to be the same. I'm going to take provision for depreciation because when I write depreciation there, depreciation accounts name, provision for depreciation should be written here. Provision for depreciation is how much? 10,000. So I will send it to income statement again, the 10,000, and I'll finalize my accounts as 10,000 and 10,000. So I hope you understood how a straight line method works. Now let's move on to reducing balance method. I have taught you how a depreciation should be recorded under provision for depreciation as well as depreciation. Okay, so I have explained you straight line method completely. I'm going to start now reducing balance method, guys. I'm not going to take a lot of time to explain this because I have given an overall knowledge of straight line method. Let's quickly move on to the content. So reducing balance method is the second depreciation method. I'm going to teach you now reducing balance method. Right? So how this reducing balance method works? Very easy. You need to know the formula to this: cost minus accumulated depreciation. Right? Or we say as provision for depreciation. We should not take divide into percentage. Okay, so I'm going to take what is the percentage actually. Here I have made a small correction I had to make on the previous adjustment. I said it's first for 2017. So unfortunately I should have written it 2017 April. But I have written it wrong, guys. So consider it as April. It doesn't matter. It's just I showed you how depreciation works. Now let's move on. Cost minus accumulated depreciation into percentage. So cost is how much? Cost is 100,000. Okay. I'm going to take accumulated depreciation. I'm buying on 2020, so there is no accumulated depreciation. I'm going to say percentage on reducing balance method. Reducing balance method has another name. So reducing balance method is 20%. Okay, I'm going to take 20%. But as straight line method, I'm not going to take the same value. So cost is cost minus 20%. I don't have accumulated depreciation, so it's 0. So you will get 100,000 itself into 20% will give you the actual value of the particular depreciation. So 1000 into 20 will give you 20,000. This is the first year of depreciation. So this is 2017 I have calculated. So actually you can also say this is from first for 2017 to how do you say 31st 3 2018. So you need to completely watch the video to understand it completely, guys. I might miss some sort of points in dates, but don't worry. On previous straight line method, if I miss the date, in this method I will explain you how to write the dates also. So here this is year 1 depreciation. So I have found the year 1 depreciation. Then I'm gonna move on to the second year. So I'm gonna find 2000 first for 2018 to 31st. How do I calculate? 31st 3 2019. So I'm going to take 100,000 again the cost, but now I have a depreciation. Accumulated depreciation is 20,000. The last year's depreciation 20,000. You will get 80,000. So in 80,000 I'm going to multiply 20 over 100. So I will get 16,000. And do you see that in reducing balance method your depreciation is decreasing? So this happens only in reducing balance method. In straight line method is going to be the same, but in reducing balance method on earlier years you will charge higher depreciation. That's an advantage for reducing balance method, because earlier years you charge higher depreciation, but later years you will charge lower depreciation. So so deducting a provision for early itself, it's a good thing, because the last few years you can use the asset for a long period than a straight line method. But in a straight line method it's not like that. You're going to use the same amount for every year, so you need to allocate a big fund of money every year in order to reduce the level of balance. So now if you see 16,000 I have calculated, I'm going to take for third year. Now this is second year, so I'll write year 2 depreciation, as you all need to understand what I'm doing. Then I'm moving on to the next part. I'm going to take first for 2019 to 31st 3 2020. I'm going to take 100,000 again. 100,000 minus now you have 100,000 minus 36,000 accumulated depreciation, you will get 64,000. So 64,000 into 20% will give me 12,800, because 6,400 into 2, 12,800. So you got 12,800 as year 3 depreciation. So I need to have calculated to do the year 4. Let me do it, guys. First for 2020 to 31st 3 2021. It's not 21, it's 2020 is here actually. So you have 100,000 again the cost, but now here 36,000 is your last final balance, plus 12,800. You will get 36,000 plus 12,800 will give you 48,800. So 48,800 is the depreciation you should deduct. So if you deduct 48,800, you will get 51,200. 51,200, I'm going to multiply it by 20 over 100. I will get 5,120 into 2 will give me 10,240. So this is year 4 depreciation. As you all understand that the reducing balance method is a bit different than the straight line method. I found year 1 as, I'm going to write here, year 1 I found depreciation, how much? 20,000. Year 2 I found 16,000. Year 3 I found 12,800. Year 4 I found 10,240. Guys, if my values are wrong, I'm very sorry, but take the method, don't take the values, okay? So just focus on the areas. Now we have done reducing balance method, a normal calculation. Now I'm going to record it under income statement and balance sheet. So I'm going to teach you how to record this income statement and balance sheet. So get this down and let's start income statement and balance sheet. I'm going to erase this, so I'm going to teach you how to record it under income statement as well as balance sheet. Okay. So now you see 20,000, 16,000, 12,800, 10,140. I'm going to take income statement as I did for the last adjustment, and I'm going to, income statement. Then I'm going to take balance sheet, right? Cost, accumulated depreciation, net book value. Now I'm putting in short form, guys, because you already know what I'm writing. So you need to write net book value, accumulated depreciation, cost. Non-current asset, I'll still write it in full term, non-current asset dash. So what I'm doing, motor vehicle. So I'll start with 2017. I'm going to do the same thing. Again, this is extract of income statement. This is extract of balance sheet. Extract means only that particular area. Balance sheet is having non-current asset, current asset, capital, non-current liability and current liability. So I'm not going to take those values because I need to only take only the extract. So this is more than enough. Let's start with the expense area. So we'll write expense. Actually on the last adjustment I didn't write expense I think, but in this you should write expense 2017, 2018, 2019 and 2020. Easy. So I'll write expense in all the columns. Expense. Okay, if you put expense, it's good for you. Expense. So I written. Now you know the depreciation values. I'm going to take the same way. 2017, 2018, 2019 and 2020. So I'm going to take motor vehicle. Don't write short term, so I write the full term. So here you have a cost of 100,000. I'm going to write the same cost in every year first of all to show you guys how it works. Okay. So my expense for 2017 depreciation, actual depreciation of motor vehicle. I write the first one in full term, then second one in short term, guys. So motor vehicle, depreciation of motor vehicle for the first year I got 20,000. So I will send it for 20,000. Yeah. So I think on the last adjustments I didn't deduct it, so it should be deduction, guys, in income statement. Show it as a minus value. Again, this here accumulated depreciation should be deducted 20,000. So you'll get a net book value of 80,000. So we have represented that. Then we move on to the expense depreciation of motor vehicle again on 2018. So depreciation of motor vehicle is how much? 16,000. So 16,000 means you will have 16,000 minus here. So 16,000 minus, I will deduct here 20,000 plus 16,000 because I said accumulated depreciation should take the last year and this year. So this is 36,000. So 36,000 minus 100,000 will give you a carrying value of 64,000. Then we move on to the third year, depreciation of motor vehicle again. I will take 16,000, 20,000. Then I will have the third year I found 12,800. So I'm going to deduct 12,800 here. So 12,800 plus 36,000 will give me 48,800. I'll get 51,200. This is net carrying value. Then I have expense for 2020. Depreciation of motor vehicle again. How much is the value I found? 10,240. So 10,240. 10,240. If I'm going to take this side, it's going to be 48,800 plus 10,240 will give me 59,040. So I'm going to deduct 59,040. So it's going to be 100,000. Okay, I'm going to take 59,040. So I'm going to calculate this. It's going to be 960. Then 40,960. That's how it's going to be. So guys, it's an easy one. You need to know. So this is how you record in your income statement and balance sheet. It's more than enough. As I said, if my value is wrong somewhere in calculation, I'm sorry, I'm not using a calculator, I'm just using with my mind. But you have a calculator in exam, so use that calculator, use your mind. Don't use like mine. Your mind is better than mine. So try to learn these things easily. These are the ways you can record reducing balance method. I have taught you how to record it in an income statement. I have taught you also for balance sheet. This is a video one of the students requested actually in the comment section. They said that the video actually what I have put is really good for her to learn, and she requested actually to put depreciation. When I had time, I did it soon. Yesterday she asked, I have done the video today. So if you guys also have doubts in particular area like disposals, provision for doubtful debts, accruals and concepts, some sort of areas, please ask me. I will not take much time to explain you, and I will submit the video whenever you want, because your exams are nearby. So you need to ask me the videos what you want, then only I can work on that. I don't know what you actually want, so if I work on what I really want, then of course you will miss what you want. So and also guys, please do not forget to subscribe my channel to learn with me. So let's move on to the point we want to speak. Extract of income statement is done. Extract of balance sheet is done. I'm going to teach you how to record it under depreciation and provision for depreciation adjustments. So I'm going to, this is the last part of reducing balance method. I'm going to teach you how to record it under depreciation. Okay, the last one is provision for depreciation. As I said, provision for depreciation, we have another name. We say that accumulated depreciation. So you should always write account. So now in 2017, 2018, 2019, the same way we did for the last previous adjustment. I start with again 2017. I'm not writing the date, but if it's better if you can write the date. You can write the date for 2017. You don't have any particular year, so actually you are getting this depreciation on 31st 3. When is this? 31st 3 2017. You are getting a depreciation. Provision for depreciation. Sorry, depreciation is how much? We calculate for that particular year at end of the year. So 31st 3 2017 2018, right? So 31st 3 2018 2017 year we are doing it on 2018. So depreciation you got how much? 20,000. So you will send this to carry down balance as 20,000. When you are sending again you will say 31st 3 2018. So I finalize this sum 20,000 here. But here I'm going to take same 20,000 here. I'm going to send for income statement of end of the year 31st 3 2018. As I didn't teach you how it works, I'm writing the dates here guys, because sometimes you might get marks in your dates. 20,000. So now I have done that also. Now I'm gonna start the next year. So next year is going to start from 1st 4 2018. You have brought forward balance of 20,000. So I'm going to write here 2018. Here I'm going to calculate. Here I'm going to start with 2018. Not always the opening balance. With the closing balance we can start, because this is provision for depreciation. You send for the end of the year. Provision for depreciation. So I'll write end of the year provision for depreciation. How much you are sending? You are sending on 31st 3 2019, right? So here you are getting 31st 3 2019. You are getting a depreciation of 16,000. So I'm going to carry it down. In 20 plus 16 is 36,000. So I'm going to record it as 36,000. So I think guys, you guys are now seeing the board and wondering what this is teaching, the same pattern of thing. Guys, I know it's a bit taking a lot of time for you guys to learn, so don't worry guys, just focus. Because if you be patient, you can get marks. If you don't be patient, you will lose marks. So be patient and watch the video until the last minute. So here 36,000, here what was the depreciation I sent? 16,000. This 16,000 only I have transferred here. So this is 31st 3 2019 actually, for 2018 particular year. I have transferred for income statement how much? Give me a second. Yeah. So I have transferred for income statement 16,000. So that is particularly for 2018 I have done this. As you are earning with the dates, I have given the dates. So I'm going to move to 2019 now. Let's start 2019 and 2020, the last adjustment of this sum. So 2019, how much I'm getting? I have provision for depreciation. Again as 12,800. Again under 2019, I'm going to write first for 2019 I have brought forward balance of 36,000. So here I will write here 31st 3 2019. So I have brought forward 36,000, but depreciation I have brought on 31st 3rd 2020. I bought depreciation of 12,800. I think I don't have space, but I'll try to manage to write there guys. So here I will send it for income statement. As I'm writing the dates, I don't have space. 31st 3 2020. But this particularly for 2019 year. Here also I'll write 31st 3 2020, and I'll send how much? 12,800. So with that 12,800, your value comes to 48,800 here, and here also you have carried down of 48,800, but writing the date is very important. 31st 3 2020. So I'm done with that. I'm going to finalize this sum 48,800. So the last value for 2020, what is 2020's value? You have 31st 3 2021. I'll write provision for depreciation. My handwriting is a bit worse guys, but I'm sorry. Please try to see what I'm writing. You know, my handwriting is very ugly because the board is ugly. I'm sorry, but I'm doing my maximum what I can guys. Okay, so then provision for depreciation is all about how much is provision for depreciation? 10,240. So I'm going to say for income statement 31st 3/2021. So income statement I have sent 10,240. So I'm going to finalize this account. I think I did finalize this area. I finalized this also 12,800 and 12,800. You see there's no space here, guys, so I'm adjusting it. Just don't do this ugly, guys, in your exams. The examiner will get pissed off with you. Okay. So then here, then we have 10,240 in both areas. So we are done with income statement. But here I didn't write. Here I am bringing a brought forward. How much I am bringing? 48,800. Then I have final balance brought forward. What is the date I am bringing? I am bringing on 31st 3/2020 here. So which means it's going to be 1st of April 2021. 2020. So I'm going to take income statement 31st 3/2021. Right? So 2021. How much is the income statement balance? 10,240. So 10,240 is how much? 59,040 here. So carried out is going to be 59,040. As you all know the dates, now I don't have space. I'm trying to maximum 59,040 here. So this is, I have written here the total 59,040. So guys, I have given you a clear understanding about how reducing balance method is recorded under depreciation as well as in provision for depreciation, income statement, and as well as in a balance sheet extract. So this is the maximum number of areas they can test in reducing balance method and statement method. Other than this, there will be no areas which will be tested. I am 100% guaranteeing you that if you know these techniques, it's more than enough for you guys to score in depreciation. But remember why depreciation happens, and as I said, deterioration of wear tear value. And I said remember the depreciation meaning. Know what's the difference between reducing balance method and straight line method. In straight line method, you charge depreciation every year, particularly the same amount will be charged. But when it comes to reducing balance method, the depreciation is going to be charged. It's going to be different, though the percentage is the same. And in straight line method, your accumulation of provision is going to be very greater every year. But in reducing balance method, you are going to deduct the provision of depreciation in early years high amount, and the previous years, upcoming years, it will be very less. So we'll move on to the last point today. The last method I'm going to teach you, it is what we say revaluation method. Not much tested in your areas, but tested in your exam. On the manufacturing account, I have seen revaluation techniques. I have seen in certain questions in manufacturing. In manufacturing account on 7110, I saw this kind of adjustment most of the time. I don't know will it be tested in 7707, but you should be careful about whatever the examiner is playing. Revaluation. How does it happen? Very easy. You have 2019 a value and 2020 you have a cost. Now for example, cost is 2019. Let me take 2019 first, third, fourth, 2019. Your cost is 20,000. Now they will give you the end year imbalance also. 31st 3/2020. This is 3/2020. You will get carrying value or end of the year carrying value. How much? 16,000. So now you will find the depreciation very easy. Remember guys, loose tools. Now for example, small assets, like most of them this will be tested in small assets. If you are taking loose tools as an example, I'm going to teach you two things. One is a small asset and a big asset. So if it is a loose tool, you will take this depreciation 4,000. This will be sent to where income statement. That's all. We don't take this to balance sheet. We don't record how much is the cost and carrying value. I'll take not a big value. I'll take 2,000 and 1,600. So I'll get 400. So it's a small value. You see here. But if I'm taking, this is how revaluation works when it comes to a small value. You don't take it into balance sheet. But only for revaluation when it comes to now this is first example. I'm going to take a big asset. Now this is a small asset, very tiny asset, very small asset. So this is how you recognize when it comes to evaluation. A big asset, a valuable asset. Okay, so valuable asset, how do you record? Easy. Valuable assets should be recorded in a way you might see. Okay, you have a computer, example. So computer, let me take a value of computer's value is 20,000 on 1st/4/2019, but on 31st/3/2020 the value of the asset computer is now 16,000 carrying value. right? So it's 16,000. So 16,000 means the difference is how much? 4,000. It's a loss. So it's a depreciation. This should be shown in the income statement. As I said, how we should show an income statement. You have an overall idea how it should be shown, and also this should be shown under this computer should be shown under non-current asset, and extract the same way we did for reducing balance method. And what is this? And what do you need to show? You will take the amount of non-current asset 20,000. Deduct the 16,000 and show this. Deduct the 4,000 and show the 16,000 as net book value. So that's how you should show. This should be shown under balance sheet also. So I have given an overall idea. This is not much tested, but if it is tested, this is the way you should do. Overall idea I have given, guys. How to record the valuation method, reducing balance method, and straight line method. Straight line and reducing balance method plays an important role in the exam. Reevaluation method plays. I have seen in 7110 papers, but 7707 papers still I will see. But if you have any questions coming in future, I don't know. You should know this method, how it works. If you have any doubts on this adjustment what I have done, please do not forget to comment on the comment section under this video, and also please do not forget to subscribe my channel to learn with me more, because if you hit the notification, the bell button only, you will be notified whenever I put a video. So with my tight schedule, I'm trying to give something for exams. Please try to use it, guys. See you on another video. Aslam Khan, always.